Hey guys, Miles here with Android Police, and the OnePlus 6T was released less than 2 weeks ago, and I know a lot of OnePlus 6 users are contemplating whether the 6T is worth the upgrade. Well, I've been using the OnePlus 6 as my main and only device for the past few months, so I feel like I'm in a pretty good position to determine whether the 6T is worth your hard-earned cash when coming from the 6, so let's get into it. Now, the most welcomed update with the 6T, in my opinion, is the higher amount of screen real estate. The teardrop notch is a little bigger in person than I expected, but still significantly smaller than the notch on the 6, and like many others have said, it really makes the phone look sleek and futuristic. In addition to that, the bottom bezel has been shrunken down a bit as well, which is a more than welcome upgrade. This just makes me so much more excited for when we get our first true chinless flagship Android phone. The 6T does feel a bit heftier, it's just about 0.5 millimeters thicker than the 6, but I welcome this change because it allowed for an upgrade that I'll get into in a sec. Overall, from a feel in the hand standpoint, it's very close to the same, like I said, slightly heftier, and the smaller bezels, while nice to see, lose the shiny new feeling very quickly, so you'll get used to the physical changes in under an hour. So like I said, the 6T is a bit thicker, but this allowed OnePlus to throw in a bigger battery. The 6T is now packing a 3700 mAh battery as opposed to 3300 in the 6, and boy does this upgrade show. Battery life has been phenomenal, 6 to 7 hours of screen on time easily, and I've never had an issue with the 6's battery life by any means, but now it's just gotten even better. As for other performance upgrades, there really isn't much to say. It's got the same Snapdragon 845, 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, Adreno 630, all of that. So I can't tell the slightest difference in performance, but that's not really a bad thing for me, given that the 6 was the fastest phone I had ever used. So if you're looking for a performance upgrade, you should definitely hold off and wait for the next generation. Now, when it comes to that in-display fingerprint sensor, I'm honestly pretty lukewarm towards it. The first thing I'll say is that if you've been daily driving the 6 for a while, you'll be doing this for the first few days of owning it. It takes a while to get used to that fingerprint placement. In terms of speed, it is slower than the fingerprints reader on the OnePlus 6, but not slower to the point where I feel it's bad per se. The main problem I have with this coming from the OnePlus 6 or any phone in general is that for it to open at its fastest speed, your finger has to be positioned in a very specific way with no smudges on the screen or anything. Your fingers and screen basically have to be in pristine condition and placement. And all I know is that coming from the 6, this will definitely take more time for me to get used to. Something I'm finding interesting with the OnePlus 6 versus 6T is the camera performance. With some test shots, I feel like overall the OnePlus 6T has improved the color accuracy a lot more. Not as magenta-y as pictures coming out of the 6, but one thing I've noticed with selfies is that dynamic range is miles better on the OnePlus 6, which is odd to say at the very least. I've done a video on the Nightscape feature that is now on a stable Oxygen OS release for the 6, and it's pretty much the same in terms of performance on the 6T, but other than that, there's really nothing new here in this department. The speakers in the 6T have definitely seen an improvement over the OnePlus 6. It's a lot louder, bass heavy, and vibrates the whole phone when playing media a lot more noticeably than the 6 does in my usage. My final nitpick with the 6T is that there's no longer an LED notification light, and coming from the 6, this is something I'm really sad to see go. It's all about convenience for me. Before with the OnePlus 6, I could just glance at the phone while it's off and know whether I had any notifications or not. Now, in order to make sure I don't miss anything, I'm constantly picking up the phone and checking my notifications, and that is really annoying. And I get it, there probably wasn't any sensible place to put an LED light given the downsized bezels, but losing this has been my biggest annoyance with the phone so far. The 6T isn't the greatest upgrade from the OnePlus 6 overall, but it is packing some decent features. The bigger display, the insane battery life, and the decently improved speaker performance. You know, for some OnePlus 6 users, this could be quite the tempting upgrade, especially given all the deals and promotions T-Mobile has got going on for the phone right now. You might want to look into it, but if you're on the fence, I'd probably recommend just holding out and waiting for the OnePlus 7 or whatever the next one's going to be called, because the 6 is still a really solid phone. But that's about it. You know, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and comment down below whether you're going to be upgrading from the 6 to the 6T. Let us know. Like I said, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.